In Fabric, which is the new film by Peter Strickland. I'm trying to remember whether Peter Strickland ever came on the programme. Toby Jones came on to talk about Barbarian Sound Studio.
He did.
Did Peter Strickland come on as well?
No.
Okay, so Peter Strickland is the director of Barbarian Sound Studio and Duke of Burgundy, and before that, Kathleen Varga. And In Fabric is his latest, and it is the most Peter Strickland film I have ever seen.
What does that mean?
Well, I'll describe it. Okay, so it is a story of a killer garment, a killer dress in the mould of I'm Dangerous Tonight. It's January sales at Bentley and Soper's department store. Marianne Jean-Baptiste is looking for something to spice up her life. She has a fairly tedious job, and she lives at home with her teenage son who's being a pain, and his vampy girlfriend who she doesn't trust. And she goes into the January sales, and she is shown a red dress. The catalogue describes the colour as artery. She's shown a red dress, and she's not sure whether she wants it, but through the extraordinarily poetic and incantatory and weirdly ritualized sales patter of the assistant, she decides that she will buy it and finds herself becoming part of some wider spell.
And may I interest you in other desired supposes in our exclusive boutique?
I'm fine for now, thank you.
Then I would like you to announce your locus of residence, followed by the numbers to your telephone.
Sheila Wallchapel, 16 Ferndale Road, Thames Valley on Thames. 01632 960 786. Thank you.
The pleasure is all mine, Sheila Woolchapel. Adonis will be waiting, and he will compliment you.
It's really weird.
But, okay, what you hear from that is, firstly, that Peter Strickland is a filmmaker who directs films like radio plays with pictures, and of course, it's not surprising that he actually has done radio plays. Secondly, you heard the music there, which is music by Cavern of Antimatter, who I know you'll be playing all their
Music by
Cavern of Antimatter.
Cavern. Oh, I see.
Cavern.
I thought that was like one word.
What, Cavern of Antimatter?
Cavern.
Yeah, that's right.
Cavern Mantima third.
That's right. Anyway, and it's a brilliant soundtrack because it's got that kind of squishy retro feel. There's something in it which kind of reminds me of the the theme from The Persuaders, and so the whole thing's got this retro aesthetic. So what happens is, she gets the dress and she takes it home, but she discovers that the dress has designs of its own. See what I did there? And the dress then starts to wreak havoc in her personal life, and it's a havoc which is continued as the dress passes to different people, one of whom is a washing machine repairman who ends up having to wear it on a stag night, and it then passes to his fiancée, played by Hayley Squires. Reg Speaks is played by Leo Bill. So the film is about a garment that has some kind of magical quality, or magical or demonic or whatever it is, passing between people. And so that is very much the I'm Dangerous Tonight story. And it's the best way of describing it. I mean, it is a film. It's absolutely a film of textures. You can hear that in the soundtrack. You can hear that particularly if you were listening to that soundtrack on headphones. It's a film that's built from the sound up. And as with all of Peter Strickland's films, it's not a film which is best described by reciting the plot, as I've just attempted to do. It's more to do with a kind of sensory mood, a state that the film imbues in you. One of the things that happens is that people start reciting things that become incantatory. For example, I'd like you to recite for me the numbers of your telephone. And then there's a brilliant sequence in which Reg Speaks, the washing machine repairman, has to start talking about the internal workings of the washing machine, and anyone who hears him do this is immediately sent into this kind of ecstatic reverie somewhere between awake and asleep. And the whole film plays out like, this is the best way of describing it, although it doesn't describe it. It's like Suspiria meets Are You Being Served?
Oh, I don't think I could be bothered with that.
Why?
Sounds dreadful.
No, it's not dreadful.
Oh,
it is.
good. Okay.
No, it's not. It is a sort of strange horror humour hybrid with this absolutely tactile sense to it that's played with this kind of very, very straight face. At times it's very, very funny. At times it's really, really creepy. It's very transgressive. You can read the whole thing as a sort of ironic visual and oral essay on Freud's theories of the origins and meanings of fetishism.
Really?
Yeah, it's a film in which, a glimpse of stocking is then
Thought of as something shocking.
so thought of something shocking. That's why I said it. But it's something which is also traumatic and then replays itself through these strange tableaux vivants all the way through. I also thought I saw echoes
Can you
of
remind me what a tableau vivant?
Florence Foster Jenkins.
Yes.
When they would do the thing, like a live statue. That they would, and now we present Venus on the half shell, and then the curtains would go back in tableau vivant, living portrait.
Oh, I see.
Tableau,
So not moving, just...
Yes, tableau vivant.
Okay, that's why I asked you about
Oh, okay, fine, and I hope that cleared that up.
Thank you.
Also, there was an element of me. Do you remember the Autons from Doctor Who?
Remind me?
When the shop dummies come to life?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the
I
shop
did.
dummies, Spearhead from Space.
Apologies to Child
So
3.
there was
Yes.
a bit of the... Yes, exactly. Well done. That you're gonna regret that when you... There's a bit of that creepiness that also goes back to, for me, that sort of strange British eeriness of Nigel Neal, that whole kind of creepy, uncanny, eerie sense. And that brilliant soundtrack, which I absolutely love and is my favourite thing at the moment, that Cavern of Antimatter soundtrack, which I just keep thinking of because it's the best way of describing the film. And it's you can take it as absolutely preposterous, or you can take it as deeply profound and twisted. I think what it is deliciously playful. I think no one makes films like Peter Strickland, and I think you could see 1 minute of this film and you'd know exactly that it was a Peter Strickland film. I mean, on one level, the whole film seems to be Peter Strickland musing upon the sort of ecstatic trauma of having been taken to department stores as a child, and that weird thing when they're big and they're impressive. They're like temples, but they're also strange and creepy because mannequins are strange and creepy. And there are these people sort of moving around doing things that you don't fully understand. So again, it's like Suspiria. You think you're going to a dance academy, but actually it turns out it's a kind of coven-y thing going. And there's stuff in it that in the relatively recent past would have passed for extreme cinema, but is now just kind of strange and absurd. And I really enjoyed it. And I thought... it's absolutely not for everyone. There is no question that it is Peter Strickland going completely full. You said Hans Zimmer goes full Brahms, Strickland goes full Strickland. And people will lazily compare it to David Lynch, but it's nothing like David Lynch. It's much more like Nigel Neal, Suspiria, Are You Being Served, and Doctor Who with added kink.
So if that's the kind of thing you're looking for this weekend... You can go and see In Fabric. Everyone else will probably go and see Yesterday.